since Queen Aelin and King Dorne brought peace to Erilea. But the scars of battle still linger, haunting the land. Erewhon, Maeve, and the Vow may have been defeated, but a new threat looms in the shadows, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. As politics, love, and betrayal intertwine, farmlands are ravaged by bandits, trouble brews on the borders, and darkness lies in wait, ready to consume the land once more. Can this party of heroes rise above the challenges that stand in their way, and save Erilea from the brink of destruction? Or will the walls of this newly built kingdom come tumbling down?
Hello and welcome back to another Saturday night here at Heroes and Hooligans, where we are having episode 2 of our newly launched campaign, Chronicles of Erilea. Sarah, I believe you are doing our recap this evening.
I will do my best.
Wonderful.
So we all went to a fancy hospital charity ball, and it was all going great. We all came in and, paid our respects to the king and queen, and were able to sort of find our groups, our people. And food came, we danced. It was all good. And then the lights all went out, both the regular ones and the magical ones. And nobody could see anything for like 30 seconds or something. There was a blood-curdling scream, and the lights came back on, and the Queen of Dornell was dead on the floor, and not in the usual fashion. Yeah, that's about where we left, I think.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. You came into a charity ball. All of you were there for your own reasonings, each of you having been invited or accompanying somebody else. And things were going really well until the end of the evening after the king and queen had retired, when a magical darkness suddenly spilled over the hall, causing it to make a little chaos around. And then when the lights came back on, there was a body. And the body looked like it had been exsanguinated, and all of the moisture and fluids were removed from it. It was sort of shriveled and gray looking, very, very uncomfortable for such a charity ball. You know what? I just realized also, Sarah, I made you a new green screen and forgot to send it to you. Remind me after the session, because I did fix it. I just thought about that. But anyway, so that's where we are. You get your chaos coin for that. Joe, you have your chaos coin for dressing up, and Sarah, you've got yours as well. So we're going to roll it back a little bit to when the ball initially started and people were coming in. And there's a few folks that you didn't necessarily meet right away. Giovanni, you're here at this ball. It's a new place for you to be in Rifthold because you've spent a majority of your time in Bellhaven. But one of the merchants that you perform for regularly had mentioned that they were attending a charity ball and asked if you would like to accompany them. So they brought you to Rifthold here. And you're brought to the castle, and it's a very big castle. It's the capital of Arderland, which is one of the countries in Erilea. It's just north of Fenharrow, where you are from. And you've heard a lot about it. You've just never actually gotten to go there. And you've been thinking to yourself that maybe traveling outside of Belhaven might provide to be a more lucrative opportunity than what you've already been experiencing. And so you come to this ball, and you're let in, and you go through the lines, and you have met the king and queen, paid your respects as you're accompanying, your merchant friend who was invited. And you're led to a place to sit, and you find yourself at a table with other folks of more noble regard. And you're kind of able to look around and figure out that if you were to persuade any of these gentlemen to allow you into their company after this, they probably would accept, and you might be able to score some higher priced items to fence later on and earn yourself some more coin. How do you think Gia is feeling being in this new place around all of these new people?
Gia holds herself very well, whether or not she deep inside is kind of nervous being in an area that isn't necessarily she is comfortable with. So she kind of holds her head high, very talkative, very sweet in a way, trying to clock the person easiest to persuade, easiest to steal from when they're not looking.
Okay. And do you think she's sort of going about this in a more stealthy manner, or do you think she is more like performing, being, this just bubbly, super exciting individual who's really has nefarious plans underneath of all of that?
She is most definitely performing, trying to just portray herself as someone you can trust, very sweet and innocent.
Give me a performance check.
All right. Let's see here. Cross my fingers.
Portia, this young woman is seated at the same table as you, and so you're able to kind of see this. She's very jovial. She's very personable. She seems to get along with everybody, and you're able to observe her while she does this.
And this is not someone that I have met before.
It is not, no. What did you get for your performance, Gia?
A 9.
A 9. You can go ahead and roll insight, Portia, if you're trying to see through the mask, because I figured you were a good.
It's not someone I've met before, just like vibes. Just a vibe check.
Yeah.
Yeah, not much better. 12.
Okay, so 12 does beat a 9. So as you sort of observe this young woman who you've never met before, she carries herself in a way similar to how you carry yourself when you're consorting with the nobles. And as you kind of focus in on her a little bit, like, I don't know this person. This isn't somebody I've seen in our circles before. You've met the merchant before, so you see him, but you've never seen him have her with him. So this is very interesting to you. So you kind of, as you're drinking and carrying on your conversation of the evening, and as you kind of like watch her in that way that you do, you notice that it surely is a performance. And the way that she performs reminds you of yourself when you're working and trying to ply information from those deep in their cups. And she seems to be employing a lot of the same tactics that you do. So it feels very, very familiar to you.
Game recognizes game.
Yes, exactly that. So you kind of have her on your radar as the night kind of goes on. A young gentleman and his father have also been invited to this charity ball. Their jobs are a little bit more unspoken. And they sit near where the rest of the guild and merchant folks would be, the more of the lower class sort of folks. Thesis, you and your dad, when you've gotten here, where you came in, it was wonderful. It was a big, huge, great hall. You've never been here before. You've heard of the castle in Rifthold, how it was destroyed, and how the kings, since it was destroyed, have been working on rebuilding it and making it more grand than it was before, minus the traditional elven architecture the glass castle of yore had. But it is a very beautifully built castle. It sits right on the ocean and on a river, so you get the smell of the salt breeze. It feels very comfortable to you to kind of be in this location because your home is on the ocean as well. It's a little coastal town right there on the water, so it's a very similar air quality that you're used to, not the stuffiness that you get more inland where it becomes more dry and arid. And you come in and you go through the line, you meet the king and queen, you pay your respects, and the ball goes on through the night. And you're sat at a table where people are more common. They are a little bit more relaxed and jovial in the way that they communicate, where you can see the nobles seem a little more stuck up and like they're consistently playing a game. And you find yourself at a table with guild members, leaders of their guilds or leaders of their section of the guilds, and it's a very nice conversation and they seem to be very friendly folks. Elwyn, you see this gentleman. He is different than you. You have the more rough sandstone like skin, and you don't really, there's not a lot of your kind around, but this young gentleman seems to have some aquatic features to him, and his outfit, his tricorn hat probably sticks out to you as a seafarer sort of attire. That's the word I'm looking for. And you're all at the same table. Do you think you engage with this individual, or do you stick to your comfort and talk to the people that you know?
I'll definitely engage with them. I think we never really solidified it, but I might as well now. She'll turn over and kind of look at Thesis up and down. You look very familiar. Did you buy something from me? Did we work together at some point? I'm Elwyn, by the way. I run the carpentry shop. Tricorn hat pings me off sometimes. I'm not sure. You just look very familiar.
You're muted, honey.
He kind of just nudges his dad and says, "Dad, it's Elwyn."
Oh, hey!
Yeah, I remember you. I mean, we don't really get people on the ship very often.
Well, I was only there to give you what you ordered, but it was pretty nice. I liked it.
I think you made my dad's chair.
Yes, I did.
He brags to all of his fellow friend captains about his fancy new chair that he got with the little, the fancy shit you put on it. What's it called?
Filigree?
Probably,
Yeah. No, feel free to send business my way. I'm always open.
He kind of sticks out his hand to you. I don't know if you remember me. I'm Theseus McLean. You can call me Thesis.
Sure, and she'll shake his hand firmly.
He just kind of shakes her hand real good.
Pleasure.
Yeah, so Theseus, this is something new for you. You've never been here before. You see a face that you recognize, but there are several faces that you don't. How do you think Theseus is feeling at this time? Do you think he's feeling overwhelmed, excited, anxious, maybe a combination of all of the above? How are you feeling at this moment, being in attendance at such an opulent event?
I think he's excited to be in somewhere new. I mean, he's always dreamed about going on the land and exploring stuff, so this feels like a great opportunity to him. He's just kind of sitting there twiddling his thumbs, looking around, and sitting a little close to his dad because he doesn't want to. His dad gave him a pep talk before, told him not to cause any trouble. He's still relatively young for being from the ship, so he's just twiddling his thumbs and making conversation here and there. And
yeah, so your dad kind of gave you this talk before you came in, like, son, you're representing our family while you're in here. This could be very helpful to our business. Be on your best behavior. None of the shenanigans that you give me back home sort of talk, right? Like one of those like hard pat on the back, but very it's like a double meaning. Like, I love you, you're my son, but it's extra hard to like hammer in the fact that if you embarrass me while we're here, I'm going to push you off the side of the ship while we're in the middle of the ocean and let the sea dragons eat you.
Got it.
Wonderful. So the night goes on. You've all made friends and got acquainted, maybe have your eyes on some interesting individuals around you. And that's when the chaos happens. The king and queen have retired for the night. A magical darkness has sort of fallen over the Great Hall, and when the light returns, there is a body in the center of the floor, dragged from her where she was previously seated, and some folks recognized her as being Aenwyn Whitethorn, the Queen of Dornell, which is the Fae Kingdom across the sea. Things are chaotic. People are scared. There's some screaming from noble women, sort of
Pearl clutching.
nonsense. Yeah, very pearl clutching. Nope, she's not the princess. She's the Queen of Dornell. She is the daughter of a king and queen, so was at one point princess, but she is crowned queen now, Joe. You ask. Some people are leaving, trying to rush out. Guards are kind of gathered around the body. What do all of you do as this happens?
I think Portia's first thing, because there was darkness that she could not see in, and she is accustomed to being able to see in the dark. And now there's a body, and those two things are definitely not a coincidence. I think her first instinct is going to be to do a real quick clock around the room and see, sort of catalog anyone notable who is missing. I think you said at the end of last game that Damon Halliard, my date, is conspicuously absent. Cursory pass around the room. Is there anyone else of note that is also conspicuously absent?
A handful of the upper echelon of royals, or of nobles, essentially, ones that have close familial ties to the royals and so on. At a cursory glance, you would assume that the highest importance of people were removed for their safety when the lights had come back on. But if you wanted to kind of do a little bit more of an insight on it, or some sort of check to see if there's more beyond that, you could certainly do so.
Well, and specifically, like, the king and queen left like a little while ago, right? I'm not so much worried about that kind of not here. I'm more worried about the kind of not here that, like, Damon is not here and he was here half an hour ago.
Right.
Okay. I mean, can I do like perception? Would that work?
You could.
I can do that. Yeah, not great. Well, not bad. 15.
Okay. So as you kind of look around, you can see as you start after you realize Damon is gone and you're trying to look around and see where the others are, you catch just the glimpses of them being led out of the hall. So it does look like that some of the more important individuals have been let out in case of another attack, but you didn't see Damon leave, and he was gone when the lights came back on.
Yes. So people who like the lights went out and then their security detail grabbed them and shunted them. Yeah, I'm not worried about those.
Yeah.
People who haven't been seen in a couple of minutes, but that like were not obvious about their departure.
Right. Azathal, you are a healer. You are also the guest of honor this evening. So you're feeling very affronted by the fact that something, someone, somebody, some organization has caused some sort of chaos, and now there is a dead woman, as far as you can tell, at your ball. So there's two sets of emotions flowing through you: shock and anger, because you really needed this to go well. You really needed the money for the Torre, and now you're concerned, are people going to withdraw their contributions? What's going to happen? It's all very sudden. It's all very annoying. And then there's the shock of, I'm a healer. There's a dead body in front of me. What do I do? So what do you do? Do you stay at your table and let the guards do their job? Or do you take the healer's intuition and go to the body to sort of investigate it?
She would push down the anger because she is seriously annoyed. She already had to shore up her emotions just to be extroverted enough to come out here and press palms and show her face all around the room so that she could get the donation she needed. But she is going to go over to, what did you say? I wrote down E. Okay, Eowyn. She's going to go over to. She's going to go over there, and before she touches anything, she's going to try to take in the scene. She's going into kind of. She's taking in the scene. Can she tell without touching her that she's dead? I mean, is she dead?
You could do a medicine check.
All right, medicine check. 21.
Ooh. 21. So yeah, as you kind of look at this body that's at your feet, and the guards move and let you, because they recognize you as being a healer, so they let you get close, but they're kind of keeping other people away. And they let you come in and you begin to examine and you sort of look around, and with your 21 medicine, something about this body doesn't feel right to you. It doesn't have the sort of connection to the word that you have when you're examining other individuals when they come in for just simple ailments or even something that's more. You don't get the typical human connection between you and this body as you examine it. It's not living for sure, but something feels off about it.
Would she be able to dig a little deeper and find out if this is a poison? Is this some sort of is this a poison? Is it venom? Is it or is it magic, like arcane magic or something?
Yeah, you could do some digging. How would you like to go about it? Is there like a skill you're attempting to use? Or is there some sort of spell you're wanting to cast?
Let's see. Trying to see what she's got magic-wise. So she's definitely dead. As she's trying to think if there's any spells that she knows that would draw this out, and she doesn't. And she starts to look around the room and see if there's anyone that she knows in the room that would be able to tell what happened here. She's also going to look for whoever is the head of security. And does she see the head of security around here at all? To just kind of ask him, like, what the fuck happened?
No,
How could
you
this
don't
happen?
see the head of security. You see some of the regular guards, but it looks like the head of security has left to attend to the royals because those are the most important, and one has just, as far as they know, ended up dead. When she's kind of looking around the room, do you think that she calls out and says, "Hey, I need a mage here," or something along those lines, or do you think she just kind of tries to eyeball and connect with somebody that she knows?
I think first of all, she's going to look for somebody that she knows that would be able to perform that kind of magic. And if she doesn't see anybody, I think she would just ask for general help.
Okay. Oh, perception.
Okay, she's got a 19.
Yeah, so you're kind of searching around and you're like, is there anybody here that could help me? And your eyes land on a gentleman who's standing off in the corner, sort of observing all of this. He's holding a leather-bound book in his hand and a quill in the other, and seems to be writing things. He's dressed in long robes, and you recognize this man as being the mage advisor to the king, one of the council members. So you could see, and his name is Merwin.
All right, she's going to holler, Merwin, and like motion, come here, come here.
And he,
yeah.
he'll snap his dusty book closed, tuck it in under his arm, and head towards you. And it doesn't look like he walks, more as he glides. And he has long gray hair, a long pointed gray beard, a mustache. He doesn't have any sort of mage's hat, but very clearly mage's robes. And he heads over towards you. Yes, Lady Azathal, how can I be of assistance to you?
Something's not right, and I can't quite put my finger on it, but something's not right with what happened here. And I'll ask him what his thoughts are on this death.
So he'll come up next to you, and he's fairly tall, probably about 6-ish foot, 6'1", somewhere around in there. Hi, Goose. Please go away, Goose. You're not the mage we're summoning. Oh.
Love you, Goose.
He's rotten. And he sort of, with his book tucked under his arm, he bends at the waist. He doesn't squat down or anything like that. He just sort of bends down at the waist and leans in, and he pulls out of his robe a set of glasses. They're the half moon glasses that sit on your nose, and he puts them on, and they sit just at the very end of his nose. And he leans in, and he wiggles his right arm a little bit, and sliding out of his sleeve slides out this wooden wand. It looks, if you are familiar with wood at all, it looks like you would. And he sort of waves it over the body. And these little blue sparkles sort of flow from the tip as he waves it over the body. And he just says, "Ah, yes." He slides the wand back into his sleeve and sits back up. It's very certainly dead because it was never living. This is a simulacrum.
Okay. Okay.
Will there be anything else you'll be needing from me, Lady Azathoth? I must speak with the king.
Yeah, that'll be all. Thank you.
He starts to glide away, and as the dust sort of settles from the magical sparkles, more dust settles as this body goes from being in the form of humanoid to a pile of dust on the ground. It sort of disintegrates.
All right. Well, I guess she's going to see if she can speak with the king as well. Yeah.
Okay. And as you're sort of looking this over, you're feeling very puzzled. Now at your feet isn't a body anymore, it's a pile of dust. The guards are shocked. There's some more screaming and a little bit more chaos as people start to get up and try to leave. The guards sort of stand at the door like, no, sit down. They're keeping people from leaving because they don't know what's going on. As you kind of sit there for a moment and think as all of this is happening, you feel something warm near your right shoulder. It feels like the warmth of a fire, and it feels very comforting to you. What do you do?
I think she would lean into the comfort because she's just trying to take it all in.
Does she just kind of tip her head and lean in, or does she turn to look to see what's bringing the warmth?
She would look to see what's bringing the warmth.
When you turn your head to look, floating over your shoulder is this small mote of firelight. It's very tiny, but it sort of hovers there over your shoulder. Do you touch it? Do you want to touch it? You want to poke it? You want to put your fingers on it?
Yeah, I think she would try to catch it.
She'll try to catch it. So like how you would catch a firefly? Like does she's like, oh
Yeah.
like that sort of thing? Yeah, so
Yeah.
give me you could do acrobatics if you'd like.
$15.
15, sure. Okay, so you reach out and you're like, oh, and you're kind of distracted like a squirrel, like, ooh, shiny. And there's this little motifier and you catch it. And as you do, it sort of expands in your hand and it feels like tiny feet are pushing against the palm of your hand. And you hear this high-pitched sort of screech that you can barely make out the words, "Let me go, you brute."
Okay.
That was very
She'll
rude.
release it. Sorry. Here you go.
Yeah, and you open your hand, and this little mote of light that existed before, as it sort of flutters out of your hand, sort of takes the visage of a small fire spirit. and it'll reach out and flick your nose. That wasn't very nice.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have touched. I should have asked first.
Yes, consent is always key. But it's about time you saw me. I've been following you around this whole time.
Did you see what happened over there?
Yeah, I did. It was very interesting. I've been trying to get your attention. But you just weren't listening. But you can hear me now. And she flicks you right in the nose again, right at the very tip of your nose, just in a pesky, irritating Tinkerbell sort of way.
Can you not?
I mean, I cannot, but you squished me, so I will hold this grudge for a very long time.
Sorry, okay?
We'll just go grab
All
it.
right.
You know, your grand matron said you were much more personable than this, but she didn't tell me that you were going to snatch me right from the air.
All right, I'm sorry. How can I make it up to you, okay? I'll owe you one, maybe?
Well, I have a perfect way you can make it up to me. There's a beautifully big, huge library here, and I heard they have the best books about romance, and I want one of them. The spicier, the better. Not like cayenne spicy, but more like habanero spicy, if you catch my drift.
I think I know what you mean.
Yeah, and you see this just little fire spirit manifested before you, and she mentioned your grand matron. You could do a history to see if you could figure out what she's talking about.
$16?
Yeah, so you think about this and you're like, grand matron. Oh, my grandmother from the settlement? You kind of like have a moment of confusion, but you know what she means by your grand matron. She's talking about your mother, or your father's mother, at the village of firefolk that you spent some time with before you went to Antica.
Okay. Well, say, tell me more. What did you want to talk about?
Well, I wanted to tell you that I will be accompanying you for the rest of your life, since now you're able to see me.
Can other people see you? Or
Only
do
if
they
you
think
want-
I'm just talking
Only
to
if you
myself?
want them to.
Okay. It's good that I get to choose. Okay. All right. So, trying to think, like, why I'm seeing you now. I mean,
Well, because your spirit's more in tune with your people now.
so something I just have to grow into, or just
Yeah, kind of. We'll figure it out more along the way. I'm a young spirit. This is my first gig, and I'm very excited about it.
well, good, yeah.
And
All right.
your
well,
name is Azethal, but that's a very long name. It's a mouthful. Can I call you something different, like Az or Azmaster for short?
I think as is good.
As works. I like it. I just thought of As Master because I read a book about a guy named that once, and it was a really cool name.
Sounds good. Right.
Okay, As it is. Nice to meet you, As. And she'll hold out this like teeny tiny little fiery hand.
Tips of her finger just.
Yeah, and you hold out your hand and she just grabs your finger and shakes your finger.
Okay.
Do you ask her name, or you just kind of stare at her like, what the actual hell is happening? All of this is weird.
Yeah, yes, what shall I call you?
Well, I have a very long name. It's Kalia, Koa, Malia, Aomea, Alana, Alani, Ekewaka. But you can call me Eki.
Eki. All right, Eki. All right. I gotta do some stuff. You stay kind of hidden, but I'll be listening for you if you have something you need to say.
Okay, I'll stay by you. And I'll stay hidden. I'm very good at that.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Yeah, and you spend it's only just a minute or so that passes through this transaction after the body sort of crumbles. And just about the time all of this is kind of settling in, and you're kind of like, okay, well, shit's really fucked up. I should talk to the king. All of you from the halls outside hear the sounds of sword clatter, screaming. It sounds like something chaotic is happening out there. And the guards who were guarding the door push it open at the sound of sword clatter, and you can see they're fighting. And people start to really freak out and sort of run and try to empty themselves out of the hall.
Can we see what they're fighting, or?
You can, from your table where you're at, you can roll a perception to see if you can kind of see what they're fighting.
Okay. That is a natural 20! Let's go!
Get them out of the way now, so that way you don't have them later for combat.
Yeah, no. Gotta get it out of the way before combat. Oopsie.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, so you see... And as this happens, the guards sort of shout, to arms, and push through the crowd. And you see, it just looks to you like they're fighting shadows. You don't really see, you hear the sound of sword clatter and you see the fights happening, but what it looks like they're fighting against, you can't really see. It just seems like sort of shadowy figures.
Okay, hold on. Do I want to do this now? I might want to do this. Hang on. Let me.
You can do whatever you want.
Fuck it. You know, I want to get close and see things, but I also don't want to get seen. So I am going to, real quick, just cast Pass Without a Trace on myself.
Sure. So you're going to try to sneak through and get out there and see what's happening?
Yes.
Great. Portia, I know that your eyes and head are on a swivel through all of this. You see Delandra waving frantically to you from one of the corners where the servants had been coming in and out. Joe, you can roll your stealth. by the
Oh,
way.
yay, okay.
There. Stealth, you said?
For Joe, you don't have to roll stealth, Portia.
I got a +1 to that.
Well, in your pass without a trace gives you +10.
Oh, shit, that's right. Okay, so I get +11, okay. You know I'm an honest woman, okay, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
You got another- All right, cool. So yeah, you sneak
You
through the
disappear from
crowd.
this dimension entirely.
You sneak
Corbin's
through the
gonna get
crowd
me.
and you peer out. And as you sort of look out, it seems like the individuals that they're fighting are using some sort of magic to conceal themselves.
Okay. Yeah, I'm pulling myself back so I can see.
Pieces
Where?
you tell Elowyn as she gets up to leave and you see her stand before she slips into the crowd to take you with her, or do you just think that to yourself?
He just kind of looks at her as she stands up and looks over at his dad, and his dad is just kind of staring off, and he stands up and he notices his opening. He's like, "Wait, take me with you."
She'll take you with her.
Yeah, so you go ahead and roll a stealth 2 thesis and go ahead and add the +10 from pass without a trace.
Mm-hmm.
Portia, you see Delandra in the corner. You go to her.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. When you get there, she says, "You need to get out of here. Get your friends and let's go. I'll show you. There's a lot of things happening. It's not safe."
You're going to have to be a bit more specific than that.
The castle's being attacked.
Oh, well, that's clear.
That's all I really know. I've been working. I just know it's being attacked. It's not safe, and we need to go.
All right. I feel like I need to be here, but do you know who's fighting and why? Before we just leave?
The only thing that I saw is the guards were fighting, and the things that they're fighting, it feels like one minute you can see them, the next minute you can't. I don't recognize them. It's very chaotic, and it sounds awful, and I just don't think it's safe, and we need to get out of here.
Like out of the castle entirely, or just not right here, right now?
Out of the castle entirely.
Yeah, all right. Portia is going to, it seems like there's going to be running happening very soon. Portia's going to reach up under her dress, and she has bustle straps built into the waistband of her dress. She's going to reach up under there and bustle her skirt up so that it is out of her way, so that running can happen.
Okay.
And, sorry, that's the food dispenser, if y'all can hear that. And then I think are we like completely across the room from the table that I was at?
Sort of off to the side. If you have the map open, I will ping kind of where you are.
Oh, that's actually, I'm a very spatial person. Thank you.
You can see like it leads to like the hallway there.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, are we kind of the only ones left in the room? Has everybody else pretty much like vacated?
Yeah, a majority of everybody has either gone out through some of the sideways that they know, or they're kind of congregated there at the doorway where the guards were keeping them from leaving at first before the doors came open.
Okay. I will kind of motion to the people who are at my table, whoever is still there. Giovanni might be the only one left. I don't know, but that really adorable little like teenage lady was there at one point. I don't know if she's still there. And if I can make contact with Azathoth wherever she is, because I know that she was like the guest of honor. I might not know her personally, but like I know of her. I will sort of motion to them as well.
Yeah, so she's kind of near where. Let me move where she was standing last. There. And I'm gonna get these guards out of the way there, because they're not there any longer. Yeah, so really a majority of the folks that are left are Az, who's sort of standing there by where the body was, and you saw it go to dust as well if you were paying attention. You've got Elowin and Thesis making their way across the room, but they're still they're not quite to the crowd yet. And you have Gia at the table where you were sitting, because her date sort of just left her, and she's left in a place where she doesn't really know.
Yeah. I would have sort of gathered whoever was left from my table, the people I was actually talking to, and then waved to Azathoth again. I know she was the guest of honor and whatever. And as I'm waving them over, I'm going to lean over to Delandra and just real quick, as people are maybe making their way over here. Did you happen to see where Damon went?
I didn't know.
You didn't see him leave?
I was downstairs when the fighting and things broke out.
This was before the lights went out.
No, I didn't see where he went. I'm sorry.
Damn it. All right, well, that's all inconvenient. Lovely. Great.
Do you think you try to get Elowin's attention before her and Thesis get into the crowd where they're trying to go through the door to get them to go with you? Or do you think you just let them go opposite direction?
Is this before or after I cast Pass Without Trace?
It's kind of all happening right around simultaneously.
I have not really directly interacted with either of them. I don't think I even know who they are, because there's a bunch of...
I think you did meet Elowin.
We did not interact, I don't think.
Because I think I was standing next to Azathoth in line.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we said hi. I don't think...
You might... Elowin was in line. Maybe you two didn't interact entirely. But
yeah.
She was sitting with Eli and Gus and those folks at the other table.
They were on the other side of the room. Especially if it looks like they're on a mission and they are going somewhere and they have confidence in where they are going. If they look like they're on a mission and not just wandering around scared and aimless, I think I will just let them do whatever it is that they're doing.
This is one of my favorite things as a GM. The party is splitting.
I can't think of a logical reason besides I'm with you. Like,
100%.
Can't
totally
justify it.
That's why I ask, like, if it's something you would have consciously done, or if you're like, well, fuck it, I'm just going to get the people from my table and we're going to get out of here.
I mean, Azathoth, who is clearly someone who knows some things and is the guest of honor and does not look like she has a plan right now. And I am becoming the plan. Hi, I'm the plan. But if they look like they have a plan, I'm going to leave them to whatever their plan is.
Gia, this is the first time you're speaking with Portia, really, and she's offering you to go with her. And as she gets your attention, what did the two of you do?
I mean, if she was sitting at my table, we probably, or like anywhere close to me, I probably would have like said hi and introduced myself at the very least.
She maybe might have. I think she was sitting a little farther down at your same table, but not within, a two people sort of radius, maybe a little farther down.
Before you brought the map up, I was definitely thinking about like circular tables and not linear tables. So
I probably described them weird and then made the map different. So
do you think that Azathoth would have seen Portia around since she was dating
Damon?
I know I got his name. Damon. Yes.
Yeah, and she
And
met you in the line. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
we said hi in line to meet the
I
king
think-
and queen earlier.
Az would go over there, and she would be ready to. She's going to be ready to cast Longstrider if she needs to haul ass.
Okay. What about you, Gia? Do you think you would go with Portia? She was sitting at your table, but you didn't really get a chance to directly interact. Do you think you would follow up with her since your date has skedaddled and left you because he's a cowardly old man? Or do you think you're like, nah, I'm going to go see what's going on over here?
Gia, in all her selfish glory, before Portia kind of beckons her over, she'd be like, "Oh, dead body. Yeah. Trying to clock if any noble lady left her purse, maybe left anything valuable laying around. Just, yeah, that sucks. Any good valuables?" And then she notices Portia and it's like, "Well, I have nothing else better to do."
What do you think the skill that you're using to look for any valuables is? Do you think you're using perception, investigation? What do you think you're using?
Perception.
Okay, go ahead and roll your perception. We'll see if you find anything fancy or not.
Let's see here. Uno momento, por favor. 21.
Yeah, so you do find a couple of things scattered throughout the table. Most ladies have had their purses with them, but you find one that seems to be like one of the bigger bags that a lot of people really don't carry. Most people carry the little pouches or whatever, but this seems to be like a bigger bag. And inside the bigger bag, you find a bunch of miscellaneous items, a little tin that has some sort of salve in it, but smells like roses, and it has a slight tint to it, like a slight pink tint to it. You could assume it's some sort of lip balm. You find a stone, which you recognize as a sending stone. You find a little tube that has some cream in it. It seems to be mostly ladies' essential items. There's a couple of gold pieces in there that you could keep for yourself. Nothing too valuable in there aside from the gold. You find 3 gold pieces in there.
I'll take it.
And you find another coin purse that looks like it was left by one of the noble men. And it's one of the little leather pouches. Maybe it fell from his belt or something. And that's got a little bit more, about 15 gold pieces.
As this is happening, because I was looking at her to get her to come over, do I clock what she's doing?
Probably.
Oh.
All right. As soon as I notice that she's not just grabbing purses, she's actually taking the time to go through an old lady's purse, I'm gonna go over there and yoink her by the arm and be like, "Not the time, nor the place. Let's go."
Does Giovanni let herself get yoinked?
She kind of jerks back at first, I don't know you. Why are you grabbing my arm, you weird lady?
There are shadowy soldiers outside. A woman just died, and why are you still here? Everyone else ran away.
Why are you still here grabbing my arm?
Trying to get you out.
Sounds like a personal problem to me.
Fine, stay. And then I'm gonna leave.
I love this. I love the reciprocated sass because Portia is sassy.
I will be nice all the day long until she knows that it's not getting her anywhere. And then the nice goes out the window.
That's very fair. So Portia heads off with Az. Do you think, Gia, afterwards you're like, okay, now I'm left standing here. Do I follow, or what do you think that Gia does?
She's going to follow. While she is more interested in the rose-scented lip balm than the dead body, she does follow because she knows no one else, and she doesn't want to be left stranded.
Sure, and you could take the rose-scented lip balm if you'd like. I mean,
I would
there.
love to. I'm
Yeah,
going to put some on as I'm walking.
Yeah, you absolutely can. And you find the gold, that amounted to, I think, 18 gold pieces, 15 and 3. So you find 18 pieces of gold, and you take the lip balm with you. Elowen and Thesis, you're heading off. You're attempting to get through the crowd sort of as sneakily as possible. And as you sort of turn to kind of look around, you see Az and Portia and Gia heading through sort of a back doorway. Do you continue on, or do you think maybe we'll follow them? What do you think your plan of action is here in this moment?
Okay. Wait, where are they going on the map?
They are going through here.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, you guys
And the,
have free reign to move your tokens. I haven't moved your tokens. You have an ability to do so.
where's the fight at? Is it out here? Like
It's
out
going
in
to
the
be
courtyard?
opposite end down here where it's very congested at the doorway there.
Okay. Okay. In my mind, God, she's not used to this. This is not a fight or flight. And she's not used to having to use this. Yeah, she'll probably kind of, like, start following, but also, like, stay furthest behind. She'll probably push Thesis forward and be like, go. And also grab his father if he didn't already leave.
With that, I wanted to point out that Rudy McLean, his father, follows Portia.
Okay.
And starts calling to him from across the room to follow him. He kind of stops what he's doing and looks back, and he actually leaves Elowen.
Okay, so you're going to follow your dad.
He was down for some mischief, but he's got to make sure his dad is safe.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
he leaves Elowen and runs over to his dad and follows behind him.
Oh, fuck. Now she's conflicted. Hells. Okay, she'll follow Thesis, to his dad. Like, nope, I'm not letting you out of my sight right now, nor your father.
He kind of reaches his hand out back behind him, trying to tell her to hurry up, and like offers his hand out to her as he's running to his dad.
Oh yeah, she'll take it and she'll gather up her skirt and
he kind of helps her gather up her skirt and kind of like pushes her in front of him to run. He helps her gather up her skirt and pushes her in front of him to run towards his dad.
Yes.
Yeah, so you kind of all make your way the same direction to avoid the congestion at the door where people are like screaming and trying to push out, where the guards have already made their way out. And you head down this hallway. And this is a hallway that's meant for servants. It's not one that you would typically see or use as a member of society and such. It's more for, you know, getting back and forth to the kitchens. And Delandra will lead you out into the hallway, and she'll lead you down a little bit, and she'll say, this goes out into the courtyard. I need to go back and grab some things that I've left here. And I'll meet you, Portia, I'll meet you back home.
All right. Please be careful.
I will. And she gives you if your sisters that actually hug or whatever, she'll give you a hug. And be safe. I'll see you at home.
All right.
And she'll lead you, she'll show you how to get down through the courtyard, and she'll tell you, take the hallway all the way down, take a left. It's going to take you out into the courtyard. It'll be the servants' entrance out to the courtyard where we would bring out food and stuff. But follow that, and it should lead you out. You should be able to get to the gates from there. So you're all together and you see this exchange happen, and Delandra leaves. So, Portia, do you take point and follow the directions? Is that how it's kind of going right now?
Yes, I assume if the directions were given to me, then yeah.
Yeah, so Portia takes point. Not all of you have met Portia, but she seems to be fairly knowledgeable in this situation, and you follow her. Rudy included is following, and you go down the hallway and you take the left turn, and it takes you out to the courtyard.
Portia grew up in this castle. Maybe not all of the secret little twisties, but yeah.
I see it changed for you, but it didn't change for me. Good job, map. I gotta drag your tokens on. Give me 1 second.
I thought my audio just went south. I was like, what?
No, the map itself has audio. Okay, now you're in the right spot. Let me drag your tokens on so I can show you where you'll be entering this courtyard.
Upon joining everyone, I think Ellen would definitely, everyone would notice the fact that there's like a veil of shadows around them now, but she'll just mention, like, stay close to me. We won't be seen otherwise.
Let me get a token on there for Rudy. All right, put token. Okay, I want you to end the token. That's what I asked you to do. Okay, great. So there's the token there. So that should be all of you, I think. Yeah, okay. So you kind of come out following Portia into this courtyard. You don't need to share the audio. I've got the sort of music playing in the background anyways. Okay. So you come out into this courtyard. It's dark. There's not a lot of people out here, but you do see some things when you come out, especially if you have a super high passive. It is dark, but there are some kind of lights around. So if you don't have dark vision, you're seeing, it's a little bit difficult for you to see everything, but you can see the points where things are lit up. If you have dark vision, you're seeing perfectly fine. And as you sort of come out, you see these little creatures, which none of you have ever come across before. They're short. They're sort of dressed in raggy material. They have really sharp teeth and pointy ears. They have a sort of greenish hue to their skin. And they're like talking amongst themselves as they're sort of heading into the castle through the main courtyard door there. And one of them notices as you come out, and it looks like he sort of hollers to the others in their language, and they sort of all turn their attention to you.
Can we roll stealth?
You can re-roll stealth if you'd like to.
Okay, and everyone within my area can add that plus 10, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, there we go. That's a normal number.
If you want to roll stealth, you can roll stealth. Everybody will get to add plus 10 for pass without a trace. If you don't really care about being stealthy and you think that's not something you're thinking about in this moment, then by all means.
Oh, shit.
17.
All right.
I got a nat 1.
I see that. But you get a chaos coin from that.
Oh, that's true. Consolation
Do-
prize.
Coin. Yeah, so just to refresh for those of you in the audience, our players get these things called chaos coins. They essentially serve as an advantage where they're able to re-roll the dice. You can either apply it immediately or you can bank it for later. If you think this is something you really need to roll higher on, you can use the chaos coin now, or you can just save it for later. And those of you who are watching in the audience can also grant these advantages by using your channel points there on Twitch.
I'd like to use my chaos coin again because I don't want to be
Go
the
ahead.
first one that.
That rolls a fail. By all means,
Yeah.
go right ahead. And if anybody is wanting to try to see if they can recognize these creatures, you can by all means roll a history as well.
Well, that's not much better. I got a 4.
But
So
it's
I got
not a
14.
one, and that's what's important.
Do you not have any modifier to your stealth? It's just a flat 0.
Oh shit! Yeah, I gotta look at my thing. My stealth. Where do I find stealth again?
It should be on your sheet, in your skills, all the way at the bottom because they're alphabetical order.
Stealth is +2.
+2. So you got 4 + 2 is 6 + 10, 16. Wonderful. So it was 16 for Thesis. Gia, you rolled a 13 stealth first. Oh, that was for your other thing, wasn't it? So you've got an 8 + 10,
Yeah.
so 18. So 18, Portia 23, as 17, and Elowen 21. So you're all fairly masked and hidden, except for the one who sort of saw you when you first came out. And who is shouting in such a weird language. Your 6 history doesn't really tell you what they are.
Is this a language I've heard before?
What languages do you speak?
Common, Elvish, and Primordial mostly.
No. It is
I'm
not.
supposed to speak scant because I don't necessarily count that as a language.
It's not giant, is it?
It's not giant.
Damn it.
Starts with a G, but isn't giant.
Is it goblin?
It's Yankee?
It is goblin.
I can speak goblin.
Well, Gia, you're the only one that understands any of these individuals, which helps you realize that these are, in fact, goblins. They're not very, very common throughout the land, but occasionally they will come out of their tunnels, steal a cow, and go home. And you understand what they're saying. The one that's closest to you there, I will ping him on the map so you know which one I'm talking about. Right here, the one that's closest to you there is the one sort of giving orders. And he says along the lines, "Tasty humans, let's get them."
Gia's just kind of like gonna rub the back of her neck awkwardly and just say out loud, "I think they want to eat us?" ?
Oh, great.
Well, that's tough, maybe. They have seen us. They know we are here.
We'll just drop the freaking pass without trace then.
That was a question. Like, have they seen us?
Well,
Yes, the first one did, yes.
With the Gia telling us that that they want to eat us, Theseus kind of pushes back Elowen and his dad behind him with and uses his trident as kind of shield guarding him.
Sure. So this is the point. It's one of my favorite points. We're going to do a thing here. It's a good thing. It's a fun thing. It's a favorite thing. We all like to do this thing. Are you ready?
Oh!
We're going to do it.
I'm
We're
so
gonna
ready.
Do it. We're going to do.
Well, that's
I have
new.
missed that so much.
I haven't seen that before.
We've had it
it's
for a
been
very
so
long time.
long.
Yeah,
Oh my
we've had
god.
it. I just always forget to use it, so it's there. It's a thing.
All right, initiative dice. Please do not flip me over. That's kind of fucking me over. Great. Love that.
Yeah, so you can roll your regular dice, but just go ahead and roll the initiative from your sheet so it'll put you in my combat tracker, please, and I'll change it to whatever your dice roll says. If you rolled your
If
physical.
my initiative is better on here, can we keep that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, it probably
So-
won't be, but we'll see.
For those of you who aren't familiar with using above VTT, in the top corner there next to the game log, you'll see at the top it'll have like the eyeball, the magnifying glasses, it'll have sheet. If you click your sheet, yeah, click it, Sarah. Click it. You'll have your sheet and you'll have your initiative right there. And you can click your initiative there and it will automatically add you to the combat tracker. I see Portia, Eloin, Gia, and Az, and now Thesis. Wonderful. Now let me go ahead and add these little critters in there. And you can
Actually
open the combat
rolls.
tracker there in the top left. The button that says combat will open the initiative tracker for you so you can see kind of where you are.
I rolled a 15, 14 on the die plus 1. So, 2 more than the ones that I actually rolled and the thingy.
Yeah, you can add it. You can edit the number yourself if you'd like.
Oh, sick!
I'm just going to add in these little critters into the tracker here.
While this is all happening, I think Portia is gonna reach under her skirt and pull out the little tiny stiletto that she had under there because she was definitely not anticipating having to fight tonight. And is gonna mutter something about after that lecture I gave to Delandra about not stabbing anybody, and here I think I'm going to have to stab someone. And then she will continue muttering about murder being messy and bodies being heavy, and it's the whole like tirade that's at like half on. She's very unhappy about having to potentially stab people.
I mean, yeah, absolutely makes sense that she would be unhappy. This is chaos and nobody really is enjoying it at the moment.
This was not on her vision board for the evening.
It wasn't, no. All right, so we are now in initiative order.
How do you
If
edit
anybody
it?
else has last minute things they want to do before we start initiative, by all means, please let me know. Other than that, we're going to start at the top of the order.
How do you edit it?
Oh, what is it? What does it need to be?
It needs to be 15.
Okay. Edited.
I clicked it on it and it didn't.
I got
didn't
it.
Do it.
I
Oh, thank
changed
you.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks.
So at the top of the order, we have Thesis. Thesis, you're up first. You're all kind of grouped together just where I dropped you. You can arrange your tokens in that little area however you so choose to do. I just kind of pulled you on. That needs charged.
So first, I'd like to ask: are we like we're full sending it? Like we're about to
I
we're
think
about
so.
to fist
Fuck
fight?
shit up.
All right, we're full sending it.
Just gonna send it.
About how close is the goblin to me?
Oh, it's pretty close. That's probably. Hold on. Let me just drop a grid.
There is a ruler up at the top. Right here.
Yeah, that's all right. I'll just drop it. Oh, you can't really barely see that. Let me put in the lines. Golly. Get your life together, hooligan. There. You can see the grid now. So each one of those squares is 5 foot on the grid.
You can.
Okay.
So you're up first,
So-
Thesis.
First Thesis, he casts Mage Armor on Elowin because he knows his dad can hold his own. He doesn't know much about Elowin. Do I need to roll for that?
Nope.
Okay,
What does
so
that raise my AC to?
And then he full sends it. He firebolts him.
Okay. So is Mage Armor a bonus action, right?
I believe so. Yes.
Double check for me. I mean, I can open your sheet, I guess, if I need to.
I think it's an action.
Because you're casting a leveled spell, right?
Yeah, but you can use a cantrip on your turn as well
True.
if the level spell is a bonus action. I just need to check
True.
and see if it's a bonus action or not. Okay, spells. Let me look here. Mage Armor is one full action. So Mage Armor will give you Elowin. It will give you 13 plus your dexterity modifier.
My base right now is 13, so and my dex mod is. Hang on. 1. So
14 then.
it would just put me up by 1.
It just puts you up by 1. Hey, it's still cast.
Every little bit helps.
Can I
use your action? Yes. Can you what?
Can I still rage with mage armor on me?
Yes, it's not your
Okay.
spell.
Okay, cool.
So for your action, you use Mage Armor. That's one action. So you won't be able to use Firebolt as your bonus action because that also takes one action. Thesis.
How do I see my my bonus actions?
On your sheet, there's a section that'll say actions. And if you scroll down on your actions, it'll have like your actions, and then it'll show you below your actions, it'll say bonus action. So your bonus actions currently at your level are 2-weapon fighting. So that's if you're holding like a dagger in one hand and your trident in the other, but your trident, I believe, is 2-handed anyways. Or you can convert sorcery points. Since you're only at level 2, you don't really have a lot of bonus action options.
Okay. I'll just kind of try to push everyone behind me.
Sure. So you cast your Mage Armor on, and you put your trident up to kind of form a wall between them and you, like to keep people safe, right? You're kind of trying to give them a little bit of cover, like maybe some half cover, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Is that end of turn for you?
Yes, because there's
Wonderful.
nothing else I can do.
Yep. Lower levels really suck ass. All right. So that is Thesis. Next, it goes to one of these little creatures, and they do things. What kind of things do? They do lots of things. Nobody wants to move their character, or you're all staying right where you've been dropped, just so I can kind of for combat. Okay, great. So, Portia, you're there in the front, and you're the first one that this little guy sees. So he tries to shoot you. Does a 14 hit you, Portia?
It does not.
It doesn't. Okay, so he misses with his attack. That's one of the ones that's farther away. The one that's directly in front feels more drawn towards Thesis, because Thesis is kind of pushing people around. And he will try to hit you with this giant axe that he pulls off of his back. Ooh. Ooh, that's very dangerous. I'm going to go ahead and send this to the game log so everybody can see.
Oh no!
Oh shit.
Oh no! That's real bad.
Oh, great.
Lucky for you, it's low on the damage dice.
Oh, thank fuck.
So, Thesis, this axe comes down at you, and it strikes true, and it strikes hard. And he hits you right about rib height. He's a little shorter than you, and hits you right in the ribs. And you're going to take 7 damage from this.
Damn.
7 on a crit is not very much, so lucky for that.
That could have been so much.
He
worse.
kind of takes it with stride. It hits him, and he kind of slumps a bit, but he still holds out his trident.
How's the squishy little sorcerer doing?
He holds out his trident a little more. He's like, "Damn, that hurt. Fuck."
Looking at our hit points, you are not, in fact, the squishiest. You should be, but you're not.
Oh, yeah, Portia. God, you are squishy.
Your dad. Your dad did. All right, so this little guy's like right here in front of the two of you. Okay, so that's his turn. He just does the one big old giant swing there. Portia.
Right. So, that was a lot of violence for a short period of time. Right. Where did that little fucker go?
Right there next to you.
He's right there next to me. Okay, so he is in melee with Thesis, yeah?
Your sneak attack does apply, yes.
Yes, please. All right. She's got the little stiletto that was up on in the naughty part of her thigh, and yeah, fuck this. Stiletto to whichever bit of this little asshole looks squishy. Maybe not a neck because that's a lot of blood, but maybe like I don't know, collarbone or something. He's short. Ooh, that's good. Natural 18 plus 6 is 24.
Oh, hell yeah.
I do believe that does hit him.
Okay. With sneak attack, you said yes. Oops. Come back here.
Yep. Yeah, 14 armor class for him.
All right. 6 plus 4 is 10. Piercing damage.
Ten piercing damages you do to my little gobbo here.
She is grimacing the whole time. She does not like this.
He doesn't smell very good either, so you're probably extra offended.
He's little and he's ugly, and if I have to murder him, like, blood is going to get all over my dress. Portia's not having a good time.
All right, is that EOT for Portia?
I'm not going to move. Just going to stay there.
Okay, end of turn. Got it. Elowin.
After receiving the mage armor, which I don't think has ever happened to her before, she's gonna kind of look at everything and be like, "Oh my god, this is bad. This is really bad." Okay. Well, clearly there's more than one threat. Fuck it. She's going to get super amped and go into a rage.
Okay.
And 5, 10, yeah, that'll work. She's gonna come to this son of a bitch over here.
Okay.
and see if we can't hit him with something. Hang on, I gotta figure out. I think this is where I have to be strategic. I think she would have had her great axe with her, but like in a beautiful, like ornate thing with like a sheath on it or something. Over the blade.
So like some leather and blade caps that would have been on it, and it's strapped into like a sheath on your back.
Yeah, and it's tastefully done. She wouldn't have her crossbow with her. That doesn't really go with the outfit. Not that she's wanted to go with an outfit, but you know.
So you got your great axe. Go for it.
Right. That's the most important thing. If your weapon doesn't match your dress, you don't bring it.
That is a lesson that I'm really gonna have to learn. Okay. I always forget the rules for 5e for rage.
It's 2 to damage.
Add 2. Okay, cool. My poor computer. Okay. 10 plus 6, 16. Does that hit?
Yes.
Marvelous. That is 1d12 plus 4. God, where did I put that die? Oh, here it is. I have all my dice like separated out by category in like different containers. Okay. So 1d12 plus 4.
Glad I'm not weird.
Yeah, I have like little jars, and then I have this little like mushroom. This is all my d6s in here.
What did you get for your damage, Jojo?
I rolled a 3 plus 4, 7 plus 2, 9.
So you see Elowen draw back this great axe that she pulls from her back and just bring this swing down on this little creature. And she cleaves him in two. Like, that axe carries enough punch behind it that it splits this little guy right down the middle of the blade. And it's kind of like when you cut a hot dog in half and it goes opposite directions. That's about what this little critter looks like. And your dress has now this sort of green, splattered, smelly gunk on it.
Well, fuck. This is my one nice thing that I have. And she's just angry, and she'll, like, look at the other two, who are kind of up there, and just kind of glare at them. Be like, you want some of this? Is this something you want?
Give me an intimidation roll.
Okay. Ooh. That is a 8. I would like to use my chaos coin to re-roll that.
By all means, go for it.
Okay, that's better. That is a 17.
It is what? I'm sorry, 17?
17, yep.
Okay. So you just like look at him and you're hulked out right now. You're angry, you're kind of like panting, you're covered in blood in the nicest thing that you own. You never wear dresses. You were already annoyed that you had to do this. Everything has gone to hell, and you're just looking at him like, you want some? And they kind of look back at you, and you can't understand a word that they're saying, but Giovanni can hear them say, do we really want some? Does she taste like chocolate? Maybe she does. Maybe we do. Okay, I don't know. Probably not. And they're kind of like arguing back and forth. Do we want some or don't we want some? And their captain kind of yells at them to shut up and fall in line. And then it is your turn, Gia.
All right. Gia's going to kind of stay back just a little bit from all of the chaos. She's not going to run at one. I would like to cast Vicious Mockery on the one closest.
Let's go. I love
You're a
that.
short motherfucker and nobody likes you.
Yes.
What's the save for that? I think that's a save I have to make, isn't it?
Yes, 14.
I think I heard you, but I was answering a question. And it's which you probably said it. I don't even know. Is it wisdom? Is that what it is?
Yep.
Wisdom. Okay. That's a fail.
Woo!
So what is your damage for that?
Let me see here. 1d4. 1.
1 damage. 1 damage is better than none damage. I see. Okay. Perfect. And does Gia have anything else that she wants to do?
She kind of just looks at him, thinks of her best insult, can't think of anything, and just goes, well, you stink.
That's fair. And he just kind of looks at you. Do you say it in Goblin or do you say it in Common?
Goblin.
And he kind of looks at you. No, you stink.
Your mom stinks.
I'll have you know I smell like old lady rose scented lip balm.
She did keep it and use it, so
she's currently just kind of reapplying. Her lips got a little chapped.
Well played.
all right, where are you guys? It's this guy's turn. Okay. So this guy up here, it's his turn. He's gonna move down next to his dead friend and try to fight with Elowen here. And he's gonna hit you with his scimitar. Well, try to.
Let's see how this goes.
What's your armor class? 14?
14.
So he does hit, because meets it beats it.
Ah.
So he does hit you. He finds a spot that's a little weak in your armor and wedges a scimitar in there for 6 damages. But it's half damage for you because you're raging. So only 3 damages.
Only 3.
And that's his turn. Now it's one of these other gobos, which I don't. This one, okay. And he's going to try and come up here behind you and try to attack you too. Lucky for you, these are gobos, not kobolds. They don't have pack tactics, so he doesn't get advantage.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a natural 1. So he doesn't hit you. Wah, wah, wah. Azathal, it is your turn. It is chaos around you. Things are attacking things. And this was meant to be a charity ball. You're probably feeling very barbaric and you're in wanting to rage as well, but you don't have that class feature. So what do you do?
She's going to move down by Elowen, right behind her, where the goblin just encroached on her space. So she's going to move down there. Let's see. Oh, I'm trying to move it on the screen instead of the other screen. 10,
like right here.
2, yeah, right about here. I think that's as far as she can get.
Okay.
All right, and then she's going to use her bonus action to cast Shillelagh, and she's going to then use an action to hit. Well, hopefully hit.
Do a whack.
Where is it? Right there.
Yeah,
That's
do a
one.
whack.
Just back him right in the head.
16 to hit.
That will hit.
That is an excellent whack. Or bonk. Is it bonk or whack? I don't know.
9, and then with the
Max
shillelagh, does she get to roll the other d8 for the shillelagh?
I think if you're using shillelagh, you roll the shillelagh attack and damage, but you killed him anyway. So.
Oh, okay. All right. Steady.
Yeah. So you do
Stand
a
out.
bonk. You do a bonk, and it's a big bonk, and you bonk him on the head. And as your quarterstaff comes down with this magic you're propelling it with, it's not in your hand. It's just floating on its own, and you're just like whack, and it whacks him, and he falls over. And you realize it whacked him a little hard, and we're past the subdermal hematoma part where there's like a crack in the skull, and it's actually just a little bit of tiny peanuts rolling out of there because gobos don't have big brains.
That's so terrible.
Ouch.
And it would have been another gobo's turn, but he's dead. So now it's one of these goblins back here, farther away. He's going to get a little closer, and he sees his friends going down left and right. The goblin that's kind of in charge is telling them to stand their ground, that they've got stuff they're supposed to do, and they're a little scared, so they're not really making the best decisions. So he's going to try to shoot you with this short bow. He's going to aim it at you as... Ooh, that was almost a crit again. 23 to hit, which I
That
believe...
does hit. Yes, that hits.
All right, for 6 damages. Okay. And we are back to the top of the order there with Thesis.
Okay. Thesis is just like hardcore trying to stay conscious because he's at half health now. You'd like to aim for the one that got the damage on him, the captain.
By all means.
Okay. You'd like to use Firebolt.
Okay.
Do it.
Do it. What do I roll for that? Just a d20?
It should be right there on your sheet. If you go to your spells and you find Firebolt, it should be like a plus something. I don't remember what your plus is.
It's
Like,
a
click
plus
the-
7.
Click on
so
the plus and it'll roll it for you.
click the plus and it'll roll it for you.
Okay.
There you go.
When it adds
Firebolt.
your modifier, it's very nice.
13.
13 on the Gobbo captain here. Let's see. Does that hit him? That does not hit him. That misses.
Shit.
Does Thesis want to try to move and get away from the goblin captain a little bit there, or does he want to stay right where he is?
Take his dad and go about over here to try to get a better point of view.
Sure. His dad here. I'll move this down. All right. And you're leaving his space, but I won't hit you with opportunity because that would be very terrible. All right. So that's Thesis's turn. So now it's this other goblin, the one who stayed up here, who's just been shooting his bow. I forgot to add your dad to the combat tracker, so that's pretty awesome. Good job on you. We would have had things we could do. Let me show you in there. I'm going to retroactively do his thing, so that way it's also in effect. I forgot all about that. All right. So the first time he did not hit with his attack. Okay. All right. So this Gabo up here, this one with the orange ring around him, he's just gonna shoot at Elowin because she's big and scary and killed one of his friends, and so did Azafal, but Azafal is luckily hidden behind. So we'll see, do we hit Elowin? 16 does hit you, Elowin.
That is true.
Wah, wah. You'll only take 1 damage since you're taking half damage. So 1 damage there.
That's just a flesh wound. We're fine.
Yeah, it's just but the flesh wound. So now it's this other Gabo, the one that's right here in front of Portia. It is his turn. He's gonna swing at you, Portia. He'll probably hit your breast, baby.
Oh, fuck.
Oh no.
Oh no, bro.
Oh, that's real bad.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm real
Oh,
sorry.
no. Did I mention I am the squishiest? Somehow.
Did I mention to you that I'm using the digital dice and I didn't do it my own self? But this is the second attack this thing has made and it's critted both times.
Yeah.
I only get bloody rolls when I'm DMing.
Are you fucking serious?
So Portia's just dead.
Portia is 100% just dead.
No, she's not dead. She's just unconscious. I don't do that double
Oh.
damage, you die. So Portia goes down to 0.
All right.
I don't like to kill your characters. It makes me cry. I feel like a terrible GM when I do.
God is merciful.
And he shouts triumphantly, and it kind of makes the couple of other compatriots he has left excited, and they're feeling renewed and invigorated. But you can make me a death saving throw, Portia.
Oh yeah, because it's my turn. I was totally gonna do a murder on him.
Uno reverse card. Oops.
I'm gonna do this on here just if I can.
You should be able to.
I'm kicking.
Yeah, just roll the flat.
I'll just D20.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Oh, hell yeah. That's a 2
Let's
successes right here. Let's go.
Let's
you come
fucking
back.
go!
You come back up with 1 hit point.
Let's go.
You just hear this little whisper of the wind as you're knocked unconscious momentarily, and the wind sort of whispers to you and tells you, not today, Portia, and you're reinvigorated and able to stand back up.
Excellent.
So that would have been your action, your death save, but if you want to use your dagger in your offhand, you can.
Actually, because I can do this now, level 2, I'm going to bonus action disengage.
Yeah, smart.
And
Let's
say
go.
move, if that's all right with everyone.
Go for it.
And then I assume I went bonk on the ground.
Yeah.
Okay. I will use half my movement to get up whatever that. Well, I have 35, so what's half?
15?
15. Yeah.
Is it 10 or 15? Or
Yeah,
15
we'll
or
say 15.
15. All right. And then I'm going to go back this way.
In the doorway there.
Yeah.
Yeah, by all means.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's my turn. Death averted by the skin of something.
The dice gods giveth and the dice gods taketh.
Absolutely. Let's fucking go.
You said, I see your nat 20 GM and I match you.
I raise you
Okay.
an additional nat 20.
I raise myself from the dead with my additional nat 20. Here you go, Elowin. It's now your turn. You're raging. Shit's dying around you, including your friends getting knocked out and knocked down.
Okay, I am gonna I'm not going to move immediately in between the two of them, but I am going to try to take a whack at this guy that's now in front of me. But she'll point over to the goblin captain and be like, "You're next, bucko!"
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Portia. While Elowin's rolling some dice, you have a healing from the audience, which is a level appropriate heal potion. It'll be 2d4 plus 2. I think that's what standard heal potion is.
Thank
2d4
you,
plus 2.
everyone. I appreciate it. Squishy Rogue appreciates it. Let's see what we got.
So what kind of shenanigans is Elowin doing here?
Well, she rolled a 12. I don't think that's gonna hit.
12 does not hit them, no.
Oh, great. Okay, I have 2 weapon fighting, but I only have 1 great axe.
Yeah. 2-weapon fighting only applies to you at this point if you have if you're brandishing a weapon in both hands. Your great axe does not account for that.
And it's 2-handed anyway. Okay.
Yep.
Hang on. Yeah, no, I really can't do shit. Okay, I just miss.
Yeah. But you can move if you wanted to.
No, I'll stay right here and I'll probably turn around to Az and be like, watch yourself.
Okay.
And that's
All
it for
right.
me.
All right, Gia, it's your turn. You saw Portia go down and then come right back up. You see a couple of these creatures have died. There's still a few left. What do you do?
All right. I'm going to move somewhat in front of Portia. And I'm going to pull out my short bow and just yell, "I'm the only one that's allowed to be a bitch here," and fire it at him.
Okay, and you're going to try to fire it at the one directly in front of you?
Yes.
Or one of the farther ones. Okay, that will put you at disadvantage because your short bow is ranged.
I'm going to move back then just a smidge. I forget, Cease.
It's okay.
All right, let's see here.
Yeah, I'll say you're able to kind of get tucked into this doorway to give you enough distance.
Okay.
I do not believe 13 does hit, however. It does not.
Balls. All right.
But you are a bard, and you should have bardic inspiration, which gives you bonus dice if you wanted to give yourself inspiration before using your short bow. And then add the dice to your attack roll if you wanted.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's pretend that I didn't already do that, and let's rewind. Rewind the clock just a bit.
Just
there's a
roll
lot
your
of winking and nudging going on.
Yeah, just roll your bardic dice. Just roll one of them. I think at your level it's like only 1d6 or d4 or something like that.
Yeah, I think it's D6.
Yeah, I think it's a d6. So adding the 2 to the 13 gives you a 15, which does make your attack hit.
Yay.
So go ahead and roll your short bow damage.
Let's see here. I can get back to where I was. Please, 7.
7 damages on the boss. If you are boss. Here you. Okay. And I think that puts you at the end of your turn because you've done action, bonus action, and movement. And so now we go to the goblin there in front of Elowin, who is going to attack.
Oh, great.
You're lucky because that dice almost landed on a 20 again. 12 does not hit you.
Nope.
That's the end of his turn. Az, it is your turn.
Okay. Az is going to step forward. Oops, I'm using the wrong thing. Okay, she's going to step forward and she's going to smack him upside the head, hopefully with her shillelagh. Does an 8 hit?
No.
In the land of dreams, or maybe even in the land of Oz, but in the land of Erilea, the answer is no, Jack.
Okay, then she's just going to be... Okay, bonus action.
That isn't your shillelagh bonus action, or is it action?
It lasts for a minute.
Yeah, that's 10 rounds of combat, so you're good there.
Okay, then she's just going to, because there's nothing else she could do on her bonus action.
Okay.
That she should
We're
really
level
be
2.
doing.
Most of
Yeah.
us don't have bonus actions.
Yep. Hey, some do. That's why I checked.
I do.
All right. It is Rudy's turn. That's Thesis's dad. And he's got his crossbow. He's going to try to shoot at the one that's a little farther away.
Come on, Dad.
He gets a 22, and that does
Let's
hit.
go, Dad.
Come on, Dad. Yeah.
Oh,
Go.
He deals 4 damages.
Good job, Dad.
Hell yeah.
And that is all of his turn. Let me put the damage on the one that he hit here. It doesn't G-string him quite, but he is critical. The gobbo that he hit, not paralyzed.
Good job, Dad.
So this gobbo up here with the orange ring is pretty damaged. And so that was Rudy's turn. Now it's this last far away goblin's turn. He's going to try to shoot at Rudy now, given the fact that he does not hit. 8 does not hit him.
Thank God.
All right, Thesis, it is your turn.
Do I shoot at the one that just shot at my dad? Do I go for the dude that almost killed me?
that's a rough one.
That is tough.
The quickest eeny, meeny, miny, mo in history.
Eeny, meeny, miny. I'm going to go for the one that shot at my dad.
Okay, that's the one with the yellow ring around it there.
Okay, I'd like to try Firebolt again, pretty please.
Do it.
By all means. 22 will hit.
Have to not suck.
Oh, yeah.
No one touches my daddy.
All I can think of in this moment is that little kid from Shrek that I love you, daddy.
I love you, Daddy.
I love you, daddy.
So you've got your firebolt to hit, and you had the plus for the +7 to hit. Right next to it should be where you roll your damage. You should be able to click it. It'll be like 1D. I think it's a D8 or something plus whatever.
1D10.
Should be able to click that. Yep, click it.
Motherfucker! Oh, okay.
Let's
Never-
fucking
That's
go.
max damage. That is max damage. All right, so you shoot at the
Sorcerer
goblin
is here now.
with the yellow ring, and you explode him into little green fancy glitters. He just kind of goes into the greenest, goriest glitter you've ever seen in your life. Okay, Thesis, good job. You? There's one little guy left up here aside from the boss. He's bloodied. He's scared. Things are really messed up. He thinks he should hide, but he's getting yelled at. He doesn't really know what to do. He thought when he moved out and didn't have to live with his mom anymore, nobody was going to yell at him anymore, but it was just such a lie. And he's just really stressed out and shoots his bow wildly into nothing and misses his target. So that's the end of his turn. Now it's the crit fishing goblin here who rolls crits on everything all the time. Who seems more interested in the giant behind him, which is going to be Elowen. So he's going to move over close to her and swing his great axe because he's got one too.
That great axe will fucking mess you up.
Yup.
No crit this time.
Oh, gee, thanks.
14 does hit your armor class.
It does. Oh, at least it's not a crit. I don't care.
That D12 is no joke, even if it's not a crit.
Oh.
Because we're level 2.
Uh-huh.
You get half of 12 is 6.
Oh, you're a barbarian. You're fine.
Yeah, I'm good. I've got the most HP,
Fine.
and I am taking halves. I'm good. I am a meat
That was
shield.
the half that I was talking about, yeah.
I am a sexy meat shield.
There you go.
Very
So
sexy.
12.
Me too.
Okay, so that's his turn. Portia, it is your turn now.
All right. This dress is ruined, and I'm bleeding, and I'm mad. I'm big mad.
She angy.
Angy. But like pretty girl angry, it's different than like regular people angry.
Of course.
So she is like holding her side where she is still bleeding rather profusely, and she's gonna kind of look around and then look at the asshole who axed her, and she's gonna kind of look at her little tiny stiletto. She is not inclined to move from where she is, but she can throw it. So she's gonna take the stiletto and kind of like chuck it right at the back of his head.
She's gonna throw it at him. Go for it.
Throw it at him. And I would like to use my bonus action. I am not planning on moving from this spot. I would like to use my bonus action to do steady aim to give myself advantage on that throw.
By all means.
Because Angie.
By all means. She just plants her pissed off feet and chucks her dagger. What you got?
I got a natural 20.
Let's go.
Good job. You'll do roll your standard dice and then double the damage total.
The
And
total
you do
damage with modifier?
Yeah, total with modifier and then double it.
Okay.
You do have sneak attack as
Yes. Yeah, for sure. All right, so that's 8 on the dice plus 4 is 12, so 24.
well. He, I think,
Here's
dies.
the variety.
Yeah, he dies from that.
And that's
Yeah,
where
right
people are
in the
breaths.
right in the soft spot at the base of his neck, right there.
Yeah.
And then she's gonna kind of like, and then gather herself. And if she wants to hit anybody ever again, she's gonna have to go over there and
Get it.
retrieve it. And so she's like emotionally stealing herself for having to like.
She's just preparing, like, oh, I gotta pull it out of his squishy head. Disgusting.
It's gonna be real gross.
All right. Elowen.
Okay, I'm tired of this guy's shit right here. And seeing that guy go down, I'm like, shit. I don't know. Like, she'll look over at Portia and be like, that was impressive. We'll talk about that later. Just turns back around and she's gonna try and smack this guy.
This is like the tiniest knife. This thing is like this long, but it's very sharp.
Okay, that is a 22 to hit, so that'll do it.
That will hit, yes.
I rolled a 3 plus 4, 7 plus 2, 9. Another 9.
Yeah, they only have 7 hit points, so the one right there in front of you dies. Oh, not
Magical.
7. Here. I was about to jack him all the way up.
I am not. I am going to take my movement since everyone else is dead around me, and I'm gonna go over here and kind of stand in front of Portia and Gia. Hopefully to take any fire if that guy up there aims at them, if he gets a chance.
Okay. All right. So that's end of turn for Elowen. Gia, it is your turn. There's one goblin left. He's out this way here.
What to do?
Just shank him.
Shank him? Oh
Okay,
my.
so
Well, you're a bard. You don't really insult him to death.
All right. I'm gonna cast a vicious mockery again.
You're a short motherfucker and nobody likes you.
Insult his mother.
Yeah.
Insult his mother. Do it.
Your father smelt of elderberries and your mother was a worm? Is that it?
No.
Your mother is a orc and your father smells of elderberries.
I don't know. That might be a compliment for them. They like orcs, right? They're big and green and strong.
Mother's a gnome lover.
There you go.
I said it.
That's it.
All right. He rolls a 9. So that fails your spell save DC.
Nice.
Awesome. Let's see here.
Max damage.
Yeah.
Let's go.
He does not like that his mother associated with gnomes.
You insulted him to death.
That's I love bards.
He died. So that will end initiative order. You'll be able to move freely now. Portia Delandra did tell you that she would meet you back at the house. You know how to get there from the castle. You could very well take everybody with you, or whatever you folks decide you want to do in this moment that now you've cleared out these little critters from the courtyard here.
If I've got a bunch of people with me, I probably won't take them to the house. I would probably take them to the inn, the tavern that my grandparents run, and leave them there and then go get Delandra.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
I have
you want to
for 10 hot minutes. I'm not taking them home.
No, that's totally acceptable. So you can offer to them, like, go for it. Engage in the conversation there.
My
I'm gonna
grandparents
grab your dagger for you before you talk.
Thank you. Oh. I mean, the dress is already ruined, but thank you.
You're welcome.
Thesis walks over and takes the blade and just kind of.
Oh, yeah, that's what handkerchiefs are for. Okay, you're never going to get that out. My grandparents run an inn in the lower ward. It's lovely. The beer is delightful and there's good food. If we want to regroup there, I can offer that until we know what the fuck that was.
I think that's a great plan. Is everybody okay? Are we all stable? No one's profusely bleeding anymore?
My bleeding has slowed a little bit. I'm at 7 out of 10, so like I'm not awful. I can run. Scraps of my dress that is now ripped are keeping my innards on the inside.
Cool.
So hearing you offer all of these things to take these people back, Rudy is still there with you, and he'll pat Thesis on the shoulder and say, "You fought well, my son. I think it's time for you to head out. I think you're ready to head out on your own. So why don't you go with your friends, and I'm going to go back to the ship and see what's going on. Make sure everybody there's okay.
He just kind of... All right. Are we going to a tavern? Are we I want to go.
It's an inn, darling. You can come. People bring children all the time.
Will it be
And
alcohol?
he'll do a
My grandmother's not going to serve a child. Don't worry, or don't cry, whichever it is.
Rudy to a flourishing bow. Thank you for helping us get out of here. I really appreciate your generosity. I look forward to seeing you again. I just need to make sure that my ship is okay. And he'll hand you here. This should cover your stays at the inn. And he'll hand you a little pouch of gold. And it's more than just a little. It's a pouch containing about 100 gold pieces.
Jesus.
And he looks to Portia, who seems to be the oldest and most composed at the time, because Az is fairly quiet. He'll say, "Take good care of my son, please." And he'll hand you directly the bag of gold.
Oh, I'm all right.
Can Gia butt in real fast and just go, I can hold on to that if you'd like me to?
Oh no, you're not going to anywhere near this. I'll split it up when we get to the inn.
And he'll give you a hug, Thesis. And he's going to pull off of his finger on his right hand. It's a ring that you've seen your dad wear his whole life. It belonged to his dad and his dad before him. It's sort of a family heirloom. And he's going to take his ring off and he's going to give it to you. And it's going to have the sea dragon sigil of your clan on there. And he's going to give it to you. And he say, "I think you've earned this, son." And he'll give you a big, long hug. And then he'll skedaddle.
Bye, Dad! Are you sure I can't drink?
No. I mean, you're welcome to try to convince my grandmother to give you a beer, but I guarantee it's not going to work. Although, you know what? Go ahead and try it. It'll be nice entertainment for the rest of us.
Elowin.
No.
Elowin.
No.
Come on, please.
All right. So you're going to head off and you're going to go to the tavern. Portia, what's the name of the tavern that your grandparents run?
It is called the Crow's Roost.
The Crow's Roost. I think I knew that.
Could
It
I
was
just,
in backstory stuff.
as we're walking, I whisper to Portia, go, well, technically, since my dad is paying for our rooms.
I'm going to throw my arm around his shoulder and just kind of like pull his head next to mine and kind of pat the side of it. I applaud the hustle, darling, but you're not going to get anywhere.
Fuck!
Like I said, you're welcome to try it on my grandmother, but you're going to get even less out of her than you got out of me.
All right. So you're heading off. Portia's kind of leading all of you to the Crow's Roost. It is a tavern run by her grandparents, and that's where we're going to pick it up next session. It has been absolutely wonderful and fantastic playing with all of you. It's an exciting game. We have lots of fun. People almost die. We have lots of nat 20s. It's a great day. We appreciate you coming and hanging out here at Heroes and Hooligans this Saturday evening. Stick around to find out more about the shows that we got on our channel, and we're going to run a raid out to our friends. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.